high definition from the station on your side. This is WAVY News Online.
Isle of Wight County Sheriff Charles Phelps is out of town, but he thinks that when he returns home, he may be arrested. And today, that sheriff spoke only to 10 on your side.
A grand jury handed down the indictments that remain sealed. They will not be open until an actual arrest is made. 10 on your side's Andy Fox has details.
Sheriff Charles Phelps thinks he could be arrested when he gets back to town.
Do you think that when you get back to town, you might be put under arrest?
Possibility.
Does that concern you?
Yes, it does. Very much so.
The grand jury handed down 2 sealed indictments Sheriff Phelps thinks may involve his office.
I'm making an assumption on that, knowing that this state police investigator who from what I understand, is working with the Attorney General's office was present. And he's the one that's supposed to be working on the case.
Commonwealth's Attorney Wayne Farmer has recused himself from the case after vocally criticizing the sheriff for having Jonathan Burns on his staff. Burns was a member of the Sheriff's Auxiliary, described by the sheriff as a volunteer, but Burns wore a uniform, a badge, and carried a taser. In May, Farmer said it's clear to him Burns, a convicted felon, was acting as a law enforcement officer.
He's been assisting in investigations. He's been assisting in arrests. He's made some searches of vehicles.
I never saw him with a taser. It is my understanding that he had one and that was discussed between some of my administrators, and they said, no, he ain't supposed to have one, and it was taken away from him.
Sheriff Phelps says at the end of the day, this will be clear about Burns.
He was not a sworn deputy.
Burns was involved in arrest, but was never intended to be an arresting officer. Example.
It was a female deputy and a woman that was beating on the female deputy. And he helped because he was there.
Another example.
The other time was the guy was kicking the windows out of the sheriff's office vehicle, and he assisted in restraining the individual.
Phelps says Burns was a volunteer who got out of control and wasn't properly supervised.
Who let you down in this case?
Jonathan Burns let me down.
That's Andy Fox reporting. Other than himself, the sheriff thinks it could be both of the indictments are against Burns, or one of them against Burns and the other against Phelps' son, who is also a deputy.
The former president of ODU says she never ordered anyone to hire Phil Hamilton. Former delegate's expected to take the stand in his bribery extortion trial next week. Today, though, the jury heard from ODU's former leader, Roseanne Runta, who testified by videotape. Earlier this week, the school's retired education dean, William Graves, says that Runta ordered Hamilton's hiring. Hamilton's accused of arranging funding for a center in exchange for a job there.
Police say a man walked into a Virginia Beach home and sexually assaulted a young girl. Police arrested 27-year-old Vincent Barrett a short time after the incident yesterday morning. They say he came in through an unlocked door, went into the girl's bedroom, and assaulted her. Investigators say the girl called out for her parents and the father tried to stop the suspect. Police also say that Barrett hit 3 cars in the Red Mill neighborhood while trying to get away. He's facing several charges tonight, including burglary, abduction, and aggravated sexual battery. Look for more on this story tonight on WAVY News 10 at 11.
Now, in high definition, from the station on your side, this is Super Dapper 10 Online.
We've got cloud cover into the area, and some of us are getting rain during the evening hours. I don't think everybody's going to get all the rain, but we are going to see some, and have seen some already across much of the peninsula during the early evening hours. Now, not much rain during the weekend daylight hours. We've obviously got some evening rain going on tonight. That should end by around 11 o'clock during the evening hours. And then we've got another chance of rain that'll pick up late Saturday night after midnight and last into the early part of the day on Sunday. Then we'll see some clearing from there on in. So again, not all that much rain coming up during the daylight hours of the weekend. Overnight, again, that rain should be pretty well over by midnight. We could still see stray shower then, but clearing skies overnight, dropping to around 50 degrees. And during the day coming up for Saturday, 74, lots of sunshine. We'll see some rain move back on into the region on late Saturday night, early in the day on Sunday. Even some clearing by later on in the day Sunday. Highs around 70 Sunday, and then back into the mid to upper 70s into next week.
And thank you for watching WAVY News Online.
Join us for the latest news tonight on WAVY News 10 at 11.
Now, in high definition, from the station on your side, This is WAVY News Online.